Happy almost spring, my friends. Welcome to La Rosa Reads. I'm Denise La Rosa, and today I'm going to take you along with me, sort of, on a mini book haul at Barnes & Noble. Let's talk books. Oh, my friends, I have a problem. It's a book buying problem. I guess you would call it retail therapy. Some people buy shoes, some people buy, I don't know, technology. For me, it's books. So, needless to say, the La Rosa household has been recovering from a round of illnesses. It is so bizarre because we're not typically a family who gets sick, but here we were feeling all the things that were swarming around us. And I had a day of working from home. I needed to get out of the house, get myself together. So what better place to go to do that than my local Barnes & Noble in Monroeville? They know me well there. It is less than a mile from my house, which is definitely an issue when it comes to my purse. It is definitely an issue being that close. And my daughter and I were hanging out. We were, doing our homework / work. And we were feeling so bad for my youngest daughter who was still sick and decided to buy a couple of things for her, which turned into buying things for each of us. So here we are. I'm doing a mini book haul of all the purchases that I made on that fateful day at Barnes & Noble. Before I show you those books, I do want to take a moment to say that I am a huge supporter of local bookstores. Specifically, Completely Booked in Murraysville, Pennsylvania is my local bookstore of choice here in the Pittsburgh area. I am also originally from West Virginia, and I have two local bookstores there that I frequent whenever I visit my hometown. John Alderson's store, which is in my hometown directly, and about 10 miles away from there is a New Chapter bookstore. They all know me. We're regulars. Even though we don't live there, we're there all the time whenever we visit. So shout out to local bookstores. With that being said, I am a huge fan of my local Barnes & Noble. They have been huge supporters of me. I don't really mention this on this channel, but I am a children's book author. I self-published 2 children's books, and this local Barnes & Noble here in Monroeville has been a huge supporter of mine. They have invited me to do book signings and story time readings to children. And also the staff is amazing. They are so fun. We talk about what we're reading, what we're planning on reading, and they also follow me on La Rosa Reads. So shout out to Monroeville Barnes & Noble. So like I said, my oldest daughter, Gianna, and I went on this book haul, this book shopping spree. So I'm going to be sharing you some books that she purchased as well as books that I purchased. First up is the Who Was series for children. It's a middle grade series, and I absolutely love it. It's a fun, quirky way, yet informative way to learn about prominent individuals, prominent figures in America, in society as a whole. So Gianna chose to purchase 2 Who Was books, the first one being Who Was Mr. Rogers? I love me some Mr. Rogers, not just because I live in Pittsburgh and work minutes away from WQED, where he filmed the Mr. Rogers Neighborhood show. I grew up sitting on my grandmother's lap, watching his episodes and feeling like he was talking to me. The way he was able to connect with children through this medium known as television, which was really ahead of its time, the way that he used technology, in that case television, to reach children and have a firm, solid understanding of child development. It was brilliant. It was moving. It was loving. It was really a part of shaping this generation to be the people that we are. I think Mr. Rogers played a huge role in raising all of us. I also say this often in my work as Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion. I feel like Mr. Rogers was one of the first diversity practitioners because the work that he did was really about reaching across all differences and telling us, reminding us that we are wonderful just the way we are. He loved us and thought we were special just the way we are. And the way we are is unique. So Gianna is doing a really awesome project for her 4th grade language arts and social studies class for Women's History Month. And she had to select a woman in history that she wanted to portray and research and learn more about, and she chose Ida B. Wells. So this Who Was Ida B. Wells book should be really helpful for her. She has to do a lot of research, so this will be one of her key pieces of resources or references. And I think this is a wonderful opportunity for her to learn more about a woman who means so much to us as Black Americans, as Americans in general, as women, because she indeed is a famous reporter, and was having a lot to do with the women's right to vote. She played a very, very important role in that. And we hear a lot about Susan B. Anthony and other suffragists. And so for her to have, her being Gianna, to have the opportunity to learn about a Black woman suffragist, I think will be fantastic. So I think I'm going to be reading this with her. These Who Was books seem like really cool, and I think they're great for all ages. So in my March TBR, I mentioned this book, and I told you guys that I didn't have the hard copy at the time of recording my March TBR video, but I would get it, and here we are. So the book that I purchased is Amanda Gorman's poems, Call Us What We Carry. Amanda Gorman is an incredible poet who became famous during President Joe Biden's inauguration. She was the poet who really captivated us and was able to use her words as a form of expressing this moment in time that we currently were in, this moment of reflection and looking forward with hope. And I just tell you what, I was captivated like many people, and regardless of where you fall along political lines, political parties, it is really important that we find what we have in common and what unites us. And I feel like Amanda Gorman did that on that day of the inauguration. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading these poems. I expect nothing but eloquence, moving, thought-provoking prose. I know this is going to be a fantastic read, and it's the read for my in-person book club, which I absolutely love. If you follow La Rosa Reads, then you already know. Yay! We love Alicia Keys in this household. Gianna, Natalie, my two daughters, and I absolutely love Alicia Keys. And I think it's interesting because I have been a huge Alicia Keys fan from day one of knowing her music, her artistry. And it's kind of crazy that was like 2001, 2002-ish. Like, time is flying. I just remember being in college and hearing her and just knowing this is someone that is going to be a living legend, that is going to make her mark in music. But I knew there was more in her than music. And trust me, what she had to give was enough. But she is an artist. So I knew we were going to be seeing her artistry take many forms. And so we have seen her create products for face care, her face care line, Key Soul Care. I am a huge fan of. I have super sensitive skin, and let me just say that is the only thing I use on my face. And so I actually feel her artistic expression in that, interestingly enough. She has created so many other things for us to enjoy, including Girl on Fire. So the girls and I were looking forward to this. We follow her on Instagram, and when she announced Girl on Fire, we were like all about it because first of all, we love to read. Second of all, we love Alicia Keys. And thirdly, my daughter, specifically Gianna, my oldest, absolutely loves graphic novels, and that's what we have here. Ah, yes. So it happens for Lolo Wright when her brother James is, taken by police for a crime he didn't commit. Lolo knows too well how this will end if she doesn't act, but she doesn't realize how strong she actually is until she stops the assault with powers from her mind. Now her brother is out of harm's way, but her newfound abilities have brought her to the attention of Skin. He has enough money, goons, and leverage to make him a threat not just to Lolo, but to her friends, family, and neighborhood. Having already brought Lolo's troubled classmate Runt and his super strength into his fold, Skin is looking to make Lolo part of his crew, whether she wants to join or not. This is an authentic, honest coming-of-age graphic novel about finding the fire within from Grammy Award-winning, chart-topping musician and activist Alicia Keys. Look at this beauty. I have a serious girl crush on Alicia Keys. Love this woman. And finally, I have a book that I actually knew absolutely nothing about. The cover captured my attention. It caught my attention as soon as we walked through the door, and I went straight to this book and was really curious. I love the colors. I love the artwork. This is the kind of cover, and I did a favorite covers of 2021 video, so you can journey back to that video if you want to know all of the characteristics of covers that capture my attention. This book cover definitely fits the bill. I thought it was really neat, and I can definitely tell that I'm in the mood for some more lighthearted yet touching, character-driven books right now. In fiction, let's just put that out there, because this book caught my attention. It is called Better Together. It's written by Christine Riccio, who is a New York Times bestselling author. And let me just admit right here, I'm not familiar with this author and her work, so I'm super excited. I also think that this caught my attention because here it reads, a new sister, a new love, but can she find her path? And having two daughters, I'm finding myself being really curious about the sister relationships that take place between sisters. I have an older brother. I do not have sisters, although I have a couple of friends that I tease and call them my sisters from another mother and father. The reality is I don't have any biological sisters. So as a mother of two daughters, I'm really curious and intrigued and seeking support and understanding of that dynamic between sisters. So this book was one that I thought about like, I wonder how this will inform my parenting. Here's the back. So you can tell, obviously, these must be the sisters. I'm seeing a Walkman. So could it be from the fashion and the Walkman that we are journeying back in time? I also see the Statue of Liberty, so I'm assuming that this is taking place in New York City. So, okay, this has a lot going on that I'm really already excited about. All right, Freaky Friday meets The Parent Trap in this sparkling, heartfelt story about sisters who find each other and find themselves. Okay, this is giving me a little bit of Clap When You Land vibes, but you know, that is a Latinx family, Latina family. So you have that cultural element to that story, but this is kind of giving me those same vibes. So Jamie's an aspiring stand-up comic in Los Angeles with a growing case of stage anxiety. Okay. Suri's a stunning ballerina from New Jersey. Got it. Okay. Hence the Statue of Liberty view. I should have known that because I lived in Jersey at one point. She's nursing a career-changing injury. They've both signed up for the same session of the off-the-grid retreat in Colorado. When they run into each other, their worlds turn upside down. Jamie and Suri are sisters, separated at a young age by their parents' volatile divorce. They've grown up living completely separate lives, Jamie with their dad and Suri with their mom. Now reunited after more than a decade apart, they hatch a plot to switch places. It's time they get to know and then confront each other of their estranged parents. So their ensuing adventure is rife with emotion, hijinks, romance, and self-reflection as the girls are thrust from their comfort zones and forced to confront their past so they can navigate their future. Oh my lordy. Like, I'm in love with this book already. It's got all the things that I love in stories and movies, too. This almost is making me think, could this be a movie eventually, like a Netflix film? Who knows? But I will be reading this for sure. So there you have it, my friends. That was my Barnes & Noble mini book haul. I am glad that I did that. I have no regrets about any of those purchases. I think that you have to do what gives you joy, what feeds your soul, fuels your soul, gives you peace. It was definitely, for me, a lot of emotions happening, a lot going on that week, and that little trip to Barnes & Noble hit the spot. So, have you been on a book haul lately? Have you been on a shopping spree? Let me know by writing about it in the comments below. You can also stick around. I would love that. And you can keep this party going by checking out this video right over here. I would love to hear from you, so definitely stay in touch. And until next time, happy reading. Bye and peace.